The year is 2040 and the Cold War never ended, so that's why the Soviet Union's still here, along with a much more expanded communist world than we're used to here in 2025. Communism is spread all over Africa. In our universe, this is about the biggest communism ever spread. As you can see, they definitely didn't get to a majority of Africa by any means. That's because this is the year 2040, so still even 15 years into the future, this alternative universe looks like this Cold War is finally about to heat up. The actual mod itself is called Liberty versus Sickle, which I thought that was kind of an interesting one. Oh, I just realized communism even got to Greece. So they somehow managed to pry away Eastern Germany and still reunified Germany. So maybe the Soviet Union continued to live on throughout the 90s, and then they had a resurgence in, I don't know, the 2010s or 2020s. Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay are some other key US allies. And then, of course, we can't forget about Australia and New Zealand, the Philippines, Japan. Oh my goodness, Kim Jong-un did the impossible. He took over South Korea. This is now just known as Korea. Oh, they did move the capital to Seoul, though. Oh, I'm stupid. No. The capital is still Pyongyang. I don't know why I thought that. Wow, look at this. The Communist Pact is actually currently destroying the West in terms of their just overall alliance size. Not to mention, obviously, the Soviet Union is absolutely massive here. With all these puppets as well, they have their normal puppets of the Warsaw Pact. We're used to that, but it's even expanded further. They have Sweden and Finland now. Oh, so there was a collapse of Yugoslavia, and now there's something known as the Serb states. So Croatia got their independence, but this is a communist Croatia. So did Slovenia too. Oh, they even got to Austria. Yeah, so communism has been approaching, wait, what the heck? Oh, I was like, communist Tel Aviv, communist Israel? No, this is just all Palestine. Yo, this is like a terrifying communist world. Unless there's another Sino-Soviet split between China and the Soviet Union, I don't see how the West is supposed to come back from this. Which, you know what, to be honest, with all my studies of the Cold War and communism in general, that's one thing communists couldn't agree on. They couldn't agree on, well, a lot. They couldn't agree on what was the proper form of communism. I do think realistically in a scenario like this, communism, especially if they grew out even more, which I think they will more than likely in the simulation, if they started getting more and more and there was like maybe only 25% of the world was still following the West, I think communism would start like eating itself from the inside out. There'd be a ton of communist divides because everyone would have a different philosophy on how they should perform their communist governments. Wait, I just did the gold category. The US is number 1. That's kind of funny. Everyone's tied with 50, but I just thought it was funny that gold is number 1 for the US. All right, so here we go. There's 176 nations on this map. I'm glad they've kind of color-coded the oh, wow, there's a lot. Okay, wait, so the US does, in fact, have some puppets around the world. They're mostly really small territories, like US overseas territories. Oh, we did just puppet Liberia, though. We also puppeted the Dominican Republic for some reason. Why did we do that? And Jamaica and El Salvador. Okay, so I like that the world has been expanded. This is like the Cold War, but kind of on steroids. Way bigger than it ever got in history. So now it is just Japan alone over here facing the communist bear. I mean, I guess they have the Soviet... Oh, China got back Taiwan. Wow, there's a lot of world building here. So Taiwan was successfully invaded. We have a new, just non-aligned faction between Zambia and Botswana. We also have a bigger... Oh, this is a communist South Africa. So yeah, we have a bigger South Africa. The Canary Islands just revolted away from Spain. It was, however, not successful. Oh, that's a cool flag. Oh, Ecuador, who took over Colombia, now going in after Brazil. And the U.S. is not going to be able to provide any support to Brazil. They're just fighting all one-on-one. This is a battle for South America. Okay, well, that's actually huge. Well, hold up. Now you just pulled in a new ally of Ecuador. Yeah, that's the first thing the U.S. has to do here. They've got to reinstall the Monroe Doctrine. They've got to kick out any sort of communist forces inside of the Western Hemisphere. So that's in Venezuela, that's Cuba, that's... well, the Peruvian People's Republic and Chile. The Falklands just revolted away. They're now fighting Argentina. Ecuador, like that, just instantly conquered. That's kind of a big win for the West. The West desperately needs more land. Well, the Soviet Union is actually currently at war with the West, but they're specifically fighting, it looks like, Norway and Turkey. Maybe trying to do a naval invasion of Japan. I don't know if that's going to be successful. Oh man, Turkey's going hard. The Soviets are not fighting all that great. Consolidation is occurring inside of Europe. They decided to finally get rid of the neutral beast of Switzerland themselves. Okay, Soviet Union, what the hell is going on? Bruh, you about to lose your capital. Bruh, you got negative 100... What the heck? You got negative 134 gold? Why is the Soviet Union... Oh my goodness. Well, that's certainly going to maybe even the odds a little bit. All right, well, now the Soviet Union is even connected to the Eastern European nations, and Northern European nations, I should say also. Why did they... I wonder why they released Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. This was not... Obviously, they had control over this beforehand, so something bad must have happened. Now, India is fighting Pakistan. Watch this be the reason for World War III. They instantly obliterated Bangladesh, and now they have a new puppet. India's looking actually pretty strong. Turkey, again, moving after the Soviet Union. Dude, they're getting so much money for their puppets. Why are they not winning this war? Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Who is that? Oh, it's Bulgaria that came in here. They're driving to Ankara right now. And now the U.S. is actually at war with Fidel Castro, or Mecca Fidel Castro, because it's the year 2040. This is definitely a robot. I don't think he's being aided too much by Venezuela, but at least Venezuela's here for moral support. The Cubans have taken back Florida. Maybe there were some sleeper cells there. Turkey's gone. Okay, so the Soviet Union has somewhat made a comeback, but they do have to share now with Bulgaria. Okay, there you go. The USA just took back Cuba. Maybe they'll take back... Oh, now they're going in after Mexico. That's probably the right move. The U.S. needs to consolidate power fast. And they're doing that. They just puppeted Mexico. That's a smart move. You got to force... Everyone's going to be forced into a side at this point. If you are not a part of one or two I mean, basically, there's only one other team that's formed just between these random African countries. I don't even know why that happened. Oh, so the West has Kenya. Didn't see that occurred. Syria was just conquered by Saudi Arabia. Denmark briefly conquered Sweden, or Sweden conquered Denmark. And we actually have some communist infighting. The Serb states took over Bulgaria. How did that happen? Did Bulgaria try to revolt away? This is a really big fight for Western Europe. Oh, okay, so Sweden successfully took over Norway. They eliminated a huge NATO member, but it doesn't matter because Germany took all of Scandinavia over. Oh, Iran has a little piece of eastern Turkey. Mexico's trying their best to revolt away from the USA. It was not successful, and they lost a little bit of the northern Mexican states. Is that French Guyana? French Guyana is now moving in single-handedly after Brazil. Why is that? Oh, Brazil left the alliance. Brazil is no longer part of the West. Will they change sides, though? Brazil is going to be a force. Maybe they think the U.S. is too big of a threat in their region. Oh, my goodness. How did Italy just take over single-handedly? What? Italy just attacked them. I mean, you can attack puppets without the daddy getting involved, right? I guess you can do that. Okay, so they're now a pretty big NATO member, very, very close, that currently actually occupies Moscow. I mean, obviously the new capital is, what is it? Did you change the name around? It's not St. Petersburg? Australia is now soloing Indonesia because, Indonesia took over Malaysia with maybe India's help. India's fighting as well. Now, Germany is, of course, attacking Poland. This time, Germany's on the west side, though. There goes Ireland. Oh, a lot of people are dying inside. Oh, there's unification. Wow, look at that. The lowlands just unified, but it all unified under Belgium. Oh no, is Poland gonna get their revenge on Germany? This is actually kind of crazy. Who wins, a communist Poland or a unified Western aligned Germany? I think Italy just destroyed Malta. It's just the Soviet Union versus Germany right now. The UK is going to war with Iceland just to force them into the war. Okay, there goes Poland, but now they've got to fight the Soviet Union. It's part 2 of World War II. The sequel everyone has been waiting for. Germany versus the Soviet Union. Okay, well, that was kind of anticlimactic. It just stopped, but I'm sure there's gonna be another conflict soon. What the heck happened to the alliances? Oh no. Oh boy, the West broke apart. I started this video off saying the communist world would start doing some infighting. It looks like it's actually the West that's doing infighting. The communist pact's still holding on strong. Japan's having to fight 2 neighbors here. No, and they're still not allied to the US. There's literally no other team. This is crazy. Yeah, the West is completely breaking apart. The communist pact remains strong right now. Okay, Japan did form a team with the Philippines. That's something. And there's 2 different European factions that formed between Spain and France, Germany and the UK. Where have I seen this one before? What is this, like the 7 Years' War? And it looks like, okay, this is called the Madrid Pact. France is moving in after Italy. USA just has their puppets, and that's about it. They're not even allied to Canada. I wonder who is responsible for this. Bam, there goes Egypt now fighting Sudan and Libya. Wait, is the oh no, this is just Egypt is fighting oh, now Italy's getting pushed back. Italy's getting pushed back hard. A lot of the Warsaw Pact is actually being destroyed, or they're being puppeted. Sorry, not puppeted, like annexed, literally just destroyed and annexed. Indonesia actually made a landing inside of India. India now going in, they're trying to unite all of South Asia, apparently. Here we go, part 2 of the sequel that everyone's been waiting for. Germany versus the Soviet Union. Now, the front is not just German territory, it's also Finland. Oh, it looks like Germany's already gonna die. They did have to move their capital all the way up here to New Copenhagen. Japan has been puppeted. We now have a communist Japan in this world. This is crazy. They were puppeted by China, by the way. And that same thing might be happening to the Philippines soon enough. Now, the Philippines are still trying their best. They're gonna take back Taiwan. Nope, they're not. India might be the thorn that the communist world is not expecting. Ooh, maybe not actually. The Chinese are flowing through those Himalayan mountains. They also have aid from Iran. My goodness, the Soviet Union is getting massive. Yeah, I mean, even Canada, the second place nation who currently, actually Canada's at war, and the infighting begins. Wow, you literally have the Soviets right at your doorstep, yet France needs to fight Morocco for some reason. Remember, Morocco started on the same side there for a second. Portugal has Galicia of Spain. The UK was in continental Europe for a second there. Still big Brazil, but they have a long way to go. The US just can't get anything going. They can't take over Mexico. They can't, obviously, successfully invade Canada. Oh, what happened? What was this? Vietnam just became independent? Okay, so maybe there's factions. What am I trying to say? I I don't know. They're splitting the Soviet, the left world. Oh, maybe not. It was just Vietnam. You know what? Korea left too. Wow, that's crazy. Kim Jong-un. This is more than likely Kim Jong-un's son by now. Dude's kind of big. He probably has diabetes. India was forced to join the communist pact. They were puppeted by China. Who's back now? France is back. There's the Treaty of Cairo, which has a lot of the Middle East. There's actually still 100 nations on this map, believe it or not. Okay, well, the U.S. is definitely going to be successful. Well, they're kind of successful in this war against Canada. And the Soviets really need to watch the Chinese. The Chinese are slowly getting more and more powerful. They're getting more and more puppets. I mean, inevitably, if the communist world wins, then we're going to have a crazy communist battle royale. The communists are trying to kick everyone that's not communist out of Africa. Wow, that's a really big Saudi Arabia. They took over all of Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan. China is now invading North Korea. Oh, wow, and they successfully defended themselves. Now, this is Japan that took South Korea. They didn't take Seoul, though. There's actually only, like, individually, Romania, Hungary. Oh, did France take all that? Wow. There's not that many communist nations by number in Europe, actually. It's just all Soviet territory. Mexico's gained their freedom from the U.S. Kenya's getting bigger. Also, Kenya remains allied to France, who is leading the charge against the Soviets. Vietnam was getting deep inside of China, actually causing them a lot of trouble, but Thailand's causing them a lot of trouble. There's actually only a handful of communist nations in the West now. It's Peru and Venezuela, and apparently Honduras. France retook Algeria. Oh boy, but here we go, the UK versus France again. Come on guys, this is not the 100 Years' War anymore. The Soviet Union is they're eating also their puppets. Vietnam, man, look at that comeback. They took a lot away. This is crazy. Who would think that the Koreans would be the biggest thorn, the North Koreans to be exact, would be the biggest thorn in the communist world side? They're taking away Japan, who's puppeted by the Soviet. I'm kind of rooting for Kim Jong-un's Pemeka. Kim Jong-un. Oh man, oh my goodness. Vietnam also another huge, I guess it's actually Vietnam that's the thorn in the communist world side. Wow, that's a lot of blue that's actually, remember this blue is actually fighting each other, but that's a lot of blue that's retaken over Europe. Saudi Arabia took over a lot of India now. So China's having to fight a war with both Myanmar and Vietnam at the same time. Vietnam needs to ally to Korea. Wow, Saint Denis Empire. Okay, so there is a blue alliance, a little blue team that's going on here, but it actually looks more like this. Oh, they are all finally united. Okay, so Europe has united. It's North America that broke down. The nuke pack? No, this is Canada and Greenland. That looked like they were down to nuke anybody. And the Treaty of Washington, so they're trying their best to monopolize North America, but Canada has other plans. Okay, so Venezuela left the communist world and Argentina, the communist world collapsed. Okay, so the left did in fact collapse. This is crazy. They look all red, but the team is no longer there. It's actually all the Vietnam alliance. Wow. That's China, Myanmar, Vietnam, and Korea. That's a crazy team. What the hell is that? The Suva realm. I've never heard that before in my life. So this is a little small unity between Indonesia and Australia. Australia took over New Zealand, apparently. We don't know how far these unities are going to go. It's getting really hard to tell, like, what the heck is going on because the colors are so altered. Saudi Arabia and the Soviet Union are allied together. Oh, China's in Africa. I didn't even realize that. So many African nations have actually kind of been removed from the map. Some of them are kind of just hidden under this little empire here. Saint Denis. Interesting name for an empire. France is causing some trouble for Brazil. They got to keep on changing that name, apparently. Port Vila. This is going to be very funny. I can see where this is going. Basically, we're going to see communist nations and capitalist nations teaming up. I don't think we see it just yet exactly, but it's about to happen. It's inevitable. The divide is no longer ideological. In the end, at least by the 25th century, it just ended up being like a classic battle royale, classic human beings. Wow, these team names, they keep on expanding. They get bigger and bigger, the alliances. Didn't even realize we already are down to only 27 nations. France is getting bigger and bigger as they've taken over all of India and Africa and Eastern Europe. They don't even really have France. Canada has France. Oh. The Washington Commonwealth. Well, that's gone now. They might eventually form more unifiers and unity things, but it's not happening yet. Korea successfully took over all of Japan, but this might be it for Korea. They're really struggling with the Soviets right now. Oh, they've been repuppeted. Oh, wow, look at this, all this yellow. But this is still Vietnam and China are actually teaming up right now. United Vietnam, that's a cool name. Wow, yeah, Vietnam, don't mess with them. Well, the U.S. knows all about that. Damn, colors are changing so fast. This is still such a crazy France. Smash them to the Soviet Union and Grand China. Oh, did the Soviet Union destroy China? China's still here. They just look really weird. And the U.S. is allied to the Chinese. It's the Sino-Soviet split all over again, apparently. Big Korea. There's 8 nations left, and China has come back. I don't even know where China is because this is France. France known as Grand China. Oh, China still exists in China. A lot of Africa. They have little pockets everywhere. There's 6 nations left. The U.S. is allied to Korea currently. Then it's France and China. So yeah, the ideologies have gotten all mixed up. What are the other 2 nations? Oh, Australia's one. Oh, down goes Korea. Nuke. How the hell did you guys even last this long? It's a 3-way. China, France, France and the USA. France, who was on the initial west side, but then they early on decided to go their own way. Statistically, actually, France is number one. This is crazy. It's a fight to the death now. Here are all the borders. It's going nuts. China obviously got all back China. Oh, they making some expansion, some moves in India. Lots of Chinese front happening in northern South America. The U.S. has landed in Scotland. Oh no, is France going down? They lost Israel. The U.S. has done a D-Day invasion of France. China's getting bigger over here. The U.S. continues to expand their territory in Siberia. They're also fighting for China. It's literally 1980. How much does France have? Oh, France just ran out of money. Does that matter? They're in the negatives. I'm thinking that's gonna matter. But who gets that capital first? Again, now it's been moved to Nice. The naming system's all crazy. Problem is with the French collapse, it's now the U.S. versus China, and China is they got a lot of territory. Wow. Boom. Oh, they're really, it's done. France is done. Can money save them? Can money save the U.S. right now? I don't think so. They've landed in Florida. Well, you know, the U.S. is making some gains in Europe, and they're actually no way. How would that work if the U.S. comes back like this? How do they still have money? What? I don't get that logic literally at all. This is a good place to hide your capital. I will say that, though. High up in the Himalayan mountains. Oh, there it is. I honestly do not know how they did that. China's actually been puppeted, left as a puppet. They do have Australia and a lot of Africa. Oh, well, China's independent now. All right, so the Soviet Union never collapses and it goes on until 2040. I guess the U.S. still wins, but man, what a confusing way we got here. Big thanks to my patrons this month. The Jewish Autonomous Oblast only has 0.6% of Jewish population left. It's pronounced Tour de Sillas, Drew. White Grape of the Pirates. Samuel Walker. Lore Track. William. Scientific Solace. Nolan. Nord Tyrol. Miglu the Goat. King Bear Hayes. Connor Pavlik. Frederick Tiblin. Never change, Drew, unless you want to. Luxembourg Lever.